Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. Did you know that a single Roosevelt dime from 1977, the kind you might just walk past on the sidewalk, could be worth nearly $867,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. Not a misprint. Not a joke. A dime. 10 cents. Now nearly $1 million ticket to financial freedom. But here's the twist. Most people would toss it into a change jar without a second glance. This isn't just about coins. This is about opportunity hiding in plain sight. And if you're over 30, have a handful of old coins stashed away, and dream of stepping into a wealthier life, this video could change everything. Let's take a step back. Imagine the year is 1977. Gas is cheap, disco is hot, and the US Mint is busy producing Roosevelt dimes like clockwork. But amidst all that routine, something extraordinary happens. A rare error. A small number of dimes were minted without the mint mark. No S indicating San Francisco to the average person. This seems meaningless. But to collectors, this was the equivalent of finding a spelling mistake on a $100 bill. Rare, unseen, valuable beyond measure. Here's where it gets wild. Only a few of these error dimes are known to exist today. And in today's market, one of them sold for $867,000. But why is it worth that much? What makes a tiny missing S turn a dime into a fortune? Stick around, because that answer holds the key to potentially unlocking thousands, even millions, from your own coin collection. By the way, if you're thinking, I don't have the time to become a coin nerd, you don't have to. Just check your change drawer before you buy that next overpriced latte. Here's the painful truth. Most Americans have old coins lying around, in drawers, jars, boxes in the attic. But they never check, they never research, and they miss out on life-changing windfalls every single day. It's just spare change. Coins don't really go for that much. I wouldn't know what to look for anyway. These myths keep people broke, or worse, leave generational wealth sitting in a Ziploc bag, never to be claimed. Fear of the unknown, lack of time, disbelief. It's understandable. These coins aren't just money. They're historical assets, often appreciating faster than stocks or gold. Let's talk numbers. The 1977 No.S. Roosevelt dime has been auctioned for nearly $1 million, and other coins. A 1943 copper penny? Over $1 million. An uncirculated 1955 double die Lincoln penny? Around $125,000. These are not collector fantasies. These are real, documented sales. Now, imagine using that kind of unexpected wealth to pay off your mortgage, fund your retirement, set your kids up for college, or finally take that dream vacation you've been pushing off for 20 years. So what if you're sitting on something just as rare, and you don't even know it? In just a moment, I'll tell you exactly what to look for, and how to know if your dime is the one that could change everything. First, flip the coin over and look just above the date. A regular 1977 dime from San Francisco will have a tiny S mint mark. But if that S is missing and the coin is in good condition, you might just be holding a treasure. Now, don't clean the coin seriously. Cleaning can lower its value. Store it safely and get it appraised by a reputable dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. And here's the part most people skip: timing. The coin market is heating up. Baby boomers are liquidating collections. Millennials are hunting for assets. Demand is surging, which means if you're sitting on a rare coin, now is the time to act. Still think your coin jar is just for laundry money? It might be the retirement fund you didn't know you had. But the 1977 dime isn't the only one. There are at least 5 more coins hiding in plain sight that could be worth over 6 figures, and I'm breaking those down in my next video. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and don't miss that list. Listen, you don't need to be a collector. You don't need a degree in numismatics. All you need is awareness and a willingness to look at what's already in your possession. Because sometimes wealth doesn't come from what you earn. It comes from what you already have, if you know how to recognize it. We're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1997 Roosevelt dime. We'll uncover why this tiny piece of metal is making headlines and auction houses buzz. And we'll show you how to spot one yourself. So before you drop another dime in a vending machine, this might be your $1 million moment. Quick question: when was the last time you checked the change in your car cup holder? If you're like most of us, it's probably a graveyard of coffee receipts and sticky coins. But what if it's your ticket to financial freedom? Let's rewind to 1997. While Titanic was dominating the box office and the world was bracing for Y2K, the U.S. Mint in Denver released the Roosevelt dime like it had every other year since 1946. But something unusual happened. A small number of these dimes came out with microscopic minting errors, ultra-high-grade conditions, and unique characteristics that make them one of the rarest modern coins in circulation today. These aren't just collector's items. They're trophies. One flawless specimen recently sold for $967,500, almost $1 million, for a dime that was worth 10 cents face value. That's a return of over 9 million%. Let that sink in. Now you're probably thinking, what makes a dime like this worth so much? It's all about condition, rarity, and demand. In coin grading terms, the one that fetched nearly $1 million was a MS-68 full bands, meaning it was preserved in mint state condition with extremely sharp details on the torch bands. Coin nerds go crazy for those little bands, by the way. It's like the abs of the coin world. But seriously, this is where things get exciting. Coming up, I'll tell you how to check your own coins for this hidden gem and exactly what to look for. But first, a quick story. Meet Mark, a retired postal worker from Ohio. He was sorting through an old jar of coins left behind by his father. One dusty envelope, marked Dimes 90s, caught his attention. Inside,
À Shiny 1997 des Roosevelt Dîmes.
he almost spent it, but something told him to check it online first. Fast forward 3 months later, he sold it at auction for $220,000. Not all of them are worth $1 million, but even the lesser-known variations have sold for tens or hundreds of thousands. And yes, many were found in circulation, so here's what to do if you want to find one of these rare dimes, or any other valuable coin hiding in your home. First, gather all your old change. Don't skip the junk drawers, glove compartments, or grandma's kitchen jar. Second, look for 1997 Roosevelt dimes with a D mint mark, located just to the left of the torch. Then inspect the bands on the torch. Are they fully struck? You might be holding a full bands variety. Now, condition is everything. If the coin looks almost flawless, no scratches, no discoloration, no signs of wear, it's time to get it professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can confirm its true value. And here's where urgency kicks in. These coins are becoming harder to find. Collectors are buying them up fast, and prices are climbing. Waiting could mean losing out on thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. What if you're just one coin away from retiring early, traveling the world, or finally building that dream home? Of course, if you do find one, please don't try to pay for your Starbucks with it. That's a $4 coffee paid with $1 million coin. Tragic. You don't need a lottery ticket. You just need awareness. You already have the coins. Now you just need the knowledge to unlock their potential. It's about seizing hidden opportunities, paying attention to the overlooked, and realizing that wealth isn't always about hustle. It's sometimes about discovery. Go check your coins. Seriously, right after this video. Hit that subscribe button, because we're going to cover other rare coins worth small fortunes. Share this video with someone who's sitting on a fortune and doesn't even know it. Because somewhere in America, maybe in your drawer, your change jar, your wallet, we're going deep into the remarkable story of the 1999 Roosevelt dime, and how you could cash in big, if you know what to look for. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot this dime, where to sell it, and how to avoid the mistakes that are costing others millions. Let's start with a little history. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, commemorating the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt. But not all dimes are created equal. In 1999, something strange happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A small number of dimes were struck with extraordinary precision, and a rare misprint. The result? A coin that collectors now believe could be worth as much as $665,000. If not more. That's where it gets interesting. These rare 1999 dimes typically show a full bands designation on the reverse. The horizontal lines on the torch are fully struck and clearly separated. This means the coin was minted with high pressure and preserved without wear. Some of them have off-center strikes, double dies, or ultra-rare transitional errors. 1, even surfaced in pristine condition. Graded MS 68FB by PCGS, and instantly set the collector world on fire. Pause for a second. Let's pivot from history to opportunity. Because while most people toss their spare change into the bottom of a drawer, smart collectors and everyday folks are digging into those jars and striking gold. And when I say gold, I mean life-changing, debt-clearing, house-buying kind of money. Here's where the story gets personal. A man from Ohio, retired, skeptical, but curious, went through his old stash, found a pristine 1999 P dime with strong bands. Sent it in for grading. 3 weeks later, the call came. His coin was valued at over $600,000. He paid off his mortgage, took his grandkids to Europe, and yes, bought the vintage Corvette he always dreamed about. All from a coin he almost gave to the ice cream truck. Imagine handing your kid a $500,000 coin to buy a popsicle. Hope that popsicle comes with a yacht. Look for the P mint mark above the date. Examine the bands on the torch. Are they crisp and separated? Check for off-center strikes or any doubling in the lettering. Preserve the coin. No cleaning, no polishing. That ruins the value. Send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but what's the market like right now? Here's where it gets even more urgent. Collectors are actively buying. The rare coin market has exploded in recent years, especially with more people investing in tangible assets. And yes, this exact 1999 P Roosevelt dime is currently being sought after with market estimates at $665,000 and rising. That means there's never been a better time to cash in, before the bubble bursts or more coins are discovered that dilute the rarity. But wait, what if I told you there's a sister coin, even rarer, that's worth even more? We'll get to that in just a minute. But first, here's what you need to know before selling. If you find a potentially valuable 1999 P dime, don't rush. Get a professional evaluation, no guesses, no eBay rabbit holes. Contact certified coin dealers or auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Consider getting multiple appraisals to verify value. Negotiate smart. These dealers expect to pay a premium for top condition coins. And don't just stop at one dime. If you've got old change, wheat pennies, silver nickels, or pre-1965 quarters, you could be sitting on a hidden fortune. People are waking up to the idea that wealth isn't always digital. Sometimes it jingles. This isn't just about coins. It's about reclaiming forgotten value. It's about turning something overlooked into something life-altering. And most importantly, it's about timing. Because opportunities like this don't wait forever. So tonight, instead of scrolling through your phone before bed, grab that old coffee can, the jar in the garage, or that box you inherited from your grandparents. You might just be holding a six-figure ticket to the life you always dreamed about. Imagine reaching into your old coin jar, pulling out a dusty Roosevelt dime, and realizing it's worth more than a luxury home. That's not just wishful thinking. A rare 2000 P Roosevelt dime has recently been valued at an astonishing $765,000. And some experts say it could fetch even more at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A dime. 10 cents. That could potentially change your life. Now, before you rush to flip your couch cushions, stay with me. Because over the next 10 minutes, we're going to reveal how a simple pocket coin has turned average Americans into millionaires overnight. And more importantly, how you can find out if you're sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Let's take a journey into one of the most mysterious, thrilling, and potentially life-changing coin stories in modern U.S. history. Back in the year 2000, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Roosevelt dimes. On the surface, they looked just like every other dime, nothing flashy. But among them, something extraordinary happened. Due to a rare minting error and unique die condition, a microscopic handful of those coins became numismatic unicorns. And here's where it gets crazy. One of those dimes, marked with the Philadelphia P Mint mark, was recently authenticated as a rare variant and valued at over $765,000. That's more than some retirement funds, more than a sports car, more than some homes. What makes a seemingly ordinary coin worth more than most of us earn in a decade? Let's talk about scarcity, condition, and collector demand, the golden triangle of coin value. And don't worry, we're not diving into dry history lectures here. This is about money, freedom, and the thrill of discovery. Quick question. When's the last time you actually looked at your change before tossing it in a jar? If your answer is never, Congratulations, you're just like 99% of Americans. But what if you've been ignoring treasure every time you buy a coffee? Let that sink in, because the next part might just make you dig through every drawer in your house. So, what exactly makes this 2000p Roosevelt dime so valuable? First, it's an error coin, more specifically a die clash error, which means the coin was struck incorrectly due to a misaligned die in the minting process. This creates unique patterns, missing details, and distortions, all of which collectors crave. Second, its near-perfect condition is off the charts. The graded sample that hit $765,000 had a mint state 69 rating, almost flawless. That kind of perfection in a 25-year-old coin is as rare as finding a snowflake in the Mojave Desert. And third, demand. The coin collecting community, especially high-end collectors, are constantly hunting for the next trophy piece. The 2000p Roosevelt dime has become a legend in the making, and people are willing to pay 6, even 7 figures to claim it. Now here's where it gets real for you. These coins weren't handed out at elite auctions. They came from everyday circulation, grocery store change, gas station counters, your old sock drawer, which means you, right now, might be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. You ever wish you could win the lottery without buying a ticket? This is it, the coin collector's lottery. And spoiler alert, the numbers are in your pocket, not on a Powerball card. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but how do I know if I have the coin? It must be 2000. Look for the mint mark P. That's Philadelphia. Examine the coin under a magnifying glass or high-resolution camera. Look for die clash errors or unusual wear patterns, missing elements, doubled images, ghost-like impressions. If the coin looks odd or unusually pristine, you may be onto something. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't toss it in a vending machine. Instead, have it professionally graded. PCGS and NGC are the top coin grading companies in the US. They can tell you if your dime is just lucky pocket change or a $765,000 jackpot. And here's the most shocking part. Experts believe there are still several of these rare 2000p dimes floating out there. Unfound, undiscovered, forgotten in jars, drawers, or old coin rolls. Imagine the moment you realize your old coin isn't just metal. It's a passport to a different lifestyle. No more scraping by. No more maybe next year. We're talking freedom, legacy, security. Check your coins. Every jar, every box, every roll from the bank. Educate yourself. Learn to recognize the markers of value not just in dimes, but in all rare US coins. Because this dime, it's not the only coin worth a fortune. The market is heating up. As more of these coins are discovered, the top-tier prices will shift. Early sellers get the big wins. Late they might get less or worse, miss out entirely. In our next video, we'll reveal another coin, a single penny, that recently sold for over $1.3 million. Yes, a penny. Miss that, and you might miss your second shot at a fortune. So hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might be throwing a rare coin into a tip jar as we speak. What if I told you that a 2008 Roosevelt dime, yes, the one you might have tossed into your glove box, is currently valued at up to $965,000? Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions, stick with me, because in the next few minutes I'll show you what makes this tiny coin so extraordinary, how to spot it, and why collectors are scrambling to pay life-changing amounts of money for it. And hey, if you're over 30 and thinking about selling off that old coin stash for some quick cash, pause. You might be sitting on a hidden fortune and walking away from it without even knowing. Let's rewind. It's 2008. The economy's crashing, Wall Street's a mess, and people are cashing in coins just to make rent. But somewhere in Denver, a small batch of Roosevelt dimes was minted, with a defect so rare, so unusual, it would later drive collectors wild. These weren't just ordinary mistakes. These coins were miracles of misprint, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or double dies so clean you'd think it was one of these dimes was recently appraised at nearly $965,000. That's right. A single 10-cent coin, worth more than most American homes. Let that sink in. Now here's where it gets exciting. This isn't just a story about one lucky coin. It's about the treasure hiding in plain sight, inside your junk drawers, in forgotten piggy banks, or tucked away in your grandfather's war chest. What makes the 2008 Roosevelt dime so valuable? First, rarity. Only a handful of these flawed dimes are known to exist. Second, condition. Coins in near-perfect state with that mint shine and clear detail fetch exponentially more. The 2008 era coins may include misaligned dies, off-metal strikes, or even full torch details that make numismatists lose sleep at night. Many people sell these coins to pawn shops or online resellers for a fraction of their value because they just don't know. Imagine handing over a $900,000 coin for $20 and a firm handshake. That's not just a mistake. It's a tragedy. Now I know what you're thinking. Great. So now I have to dig through my coin collection like Indiana Jones with a magnifying glass. Well, yes. But unlike Indy, you don't need a fedora. Just some patience, good lighting, and a little guidance. Let's keep going. Because here's the part that most people miss. The 2008 dime isn't just valuable on its own. It's part of a bigger movement, an awakening in the coin collecting world. In 2023 alone, over 40 error coins sold for six figures or more at auction. One Roosevelt dime error, nearly identical to the 2008 shocked the market by closing at $1.20 million. Think about what that kind of money could do. Pay off your house, retire early, help your kids, travel the world. You're not just holding metal, you're holding potential. But only if you know what to look for. So here's what you need to do right now. First, pull out your coin collections. Don't wait. Check every 2008 Roosevelt dime. Look for oddities, doubling on the lettering, off-center images, or missing edges. Second, use a magnifying glass or high-res camera to inspect each coin carefully. Look for mint luster and details in the torch on the reverse side. The sharper the detail, the higher the value. Third, don't sell to the first buyer you find. Get your coin appraised by a professional numismatist or submit it to a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. And if you're unsure whether your coin is valuable, do not assume it's worthless. That's what most people do. And that's exactly why million-dollar coins still end up in parking meters and vending machines. Okay, real talk. If you're thinking, this probably won't happen to me, you might be right. And here's something even more shocking. There's growing speculation that more 2008 Roosevelt dime errors haven't even been discovered yet. They could still be out there, sitting in circulation waiting to be found. In our next video, we'll reveal the top 5 error pennies that are currently valued at over $1 million, some of which you may already own. But here's the deal, coins don't wait. Markets shift, collectors compete, and hesitation could cost you everything. So don't just collect coins. Collect your future. Subscribe now, hit that notification bell, and start the hunt. Because while most people are looking for change, you could be holding it in your hands. Literally. See you in the next video. And may your dimes be priceless. Imagine opening an old drawer, dusty, forgotten, and tucked between old receipts and matchbooks lies a dime. Just a simple 1981 Roosevelt dime. You glance at it, ready to toss it into the change jar. But what if I told you that exact dime could be worth up to $867,000 today? That's right, almost $1 million from a coin you could have used to buy gum back in the day. Now, if that doesn't make you want to dig through your old coin jars and jeans pockets right now, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this 1981 Roosevelt dime so valuable, how to identify it, and what steps to take if you own one. And just maybe, how that single coin could change your life forever. In 1981, the United States Mint struck millions of Roosevelt dimes. Most are just ordinary coins, passed through vending machines and forgotten in wallets. But like every great story, there's an outlier. A rare variation of the 1981 Roosevelt dime has surfaced in the collector's world, and it's turning heads for one reason: its insane market value. Now, before we dive into what makes this coin different, let's pause for a second. When's the last time you looked closely at a dime? No, really, grab one right now, because the smallest things often hold the biggest secrets. If you're about to call your cousin who borrowed your change jar in 1997, maybe wait till after this video. But make sure you do call them. Trust me. It all comes down to a rare minting error. Some of these dimes were struck with a misaligned die, resulting in an off-center design or a doubling of the date and inscriptions. Others have a full band strike on the torch reverse, an indicator of a sharply defined, high-quality minting process. And then there's the big one, the no-mint mark version from the Philadelphia Mint, which should have had a P but doesn't. That single omission could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars. Many people throw these coins away, thinking they're worthless. One man in Ohio almost spent his at a gas station, until a coin appraiser spotted the mistake and offered him $230,000 on the spot. Now let's talk emotion, because I know what you're feeling right now. That tight excitement in your chest? That little voice whispering, "What if I have one?" That's your instinct talking. Don't ignore it, because someone out there, maybe even you, holds a piece of metal that could be the key to a completely different lifestyle. We're talking life without debt. We're talking spontaneous vacations, that lake house you've dreamed about, or finally giving your kids the future they deserve. But here's the problem. These coins are getting rarer by the day. Collectors are snatching them up. The market is heating up. And every day you wait, that coin might slip further out of reach. Ever wonder what's in that old shoebox your grandfather kept locked up? Or that jar under the bed labeled, "Don't touch"? You might want to check those. Like, now.at the time of this video, the current auction value of a pristine 1981 P Roosevelt dime with no mint mark and high grading is $867,000. That's not a typo. Collectors are battling over these coins because they know how rare they are. And condition is everything. So if yours has minimal wear and crisp details, you're sitting on a fortune. And here's what makes it even more intense. Only a handful have ever been officially graded in this tier. If yours is next, you're in a very elite club, one that could change your financial future forever. First, grab a magnifying glass. Check the date. Look for the missing mint mark. Inspect the bands on the torch. Any odd strike marks or off-center impressions. You could be onto something. If you're unsure, get it professionally appraised. Don't guess. This isn't a $5 win. It's potentially $867,000. Second, don't sell too quickly. Get multiple opinions. List it at the right places. Auction houses. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Protect your treasure before you part with it. And finally, share this video. Because what if your cousin, your neighbor, or your coworker has one of these coins and doesn't even know? Let's lift each other up. One coin, one life-changing discovery at a time. But here's where it gets wild. The 1981 dime isn't even the rarest coin out there. There's a penny from 1943 made out of steel that's worth over $1 million. And in our next video, we'll show you exactly how to find it and how to know if it's real. Subscribe now, because the next coin could be hiding in your pocket right this second. We don't always get second chances in life. But sometimes, the past leaves us tiny gifts, forgotten treasures that can rewrite our future. The 1981 Roosevelt dime? It's one of those gifts. So open that drawer. Check that coin jar. You're not just searching for a dime. You're searching for your legacy. Because sometimes, wealth doesn't come from working harder. It comes from looking closer. Stay curious. Stay bold. And until next time, happy hunting. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a handful of change, and discovering one coin that could change your life forever. 1 dime. 10 cents. But this isn't just any dime. It's a 2014 P Roosevelt dime. And one rare version of it is worth a jaw-dropping $767,000 on the current market. Yes, you heard that right. Less than $1 worth of metal could potentially buy you a dream home, wipe out your debts, or even fund your early retirement. So, before you toss your spare change into a jar, or worse, spend it on gas station gum, you'll want to watch this until the end. Because what you're about to learn could make you rich, or leave you forever wondering what might have been. The 2014 P Roosevelt dime was just another coin minted in Philadelphia. Billions were made. Nobody paid attention. But buried within that massive production run, a mistake happened. A few dimes came out with a rare error, a misstrike so unusual it instantly turned the coin from everyday currency into an elite collector's item. And collectors? Oh, they go crazy for mint errors. The more bizarre, the more valuable. The error in question? A unique double die and strike through that left visible anomalies on both the obverse and reverse sides, details you'd miss if you blinked. Now here's the kicker. One of these rare error dimes sold for a life-altering $767,000. Let that sink in. Still think your pocket change isn't worth checking. Pattern interrupt. Humorous reset 3 to 3:30. Look, if you're like most people, the only thing your change jar's done is collect dust and spare button batteries. But what if your junk drawer is actually a treasure chest in disguise? And don't worry, you don't need a magnifying glass, a PhD in numismatics, or to wear gloves like a museum curator. Just a bit of knowledge and a fresh perspective. It's all about rarity, condition, and collector demand. Rarity. Out of millions of coins, only a microscopic fraction come out with this exact error. Condition. The high-value dime was graded at nearly perfect condition. Mint state 68 by PCGS. Translation. Is flawless to the naked eye, like it just rolled off the mint floor. Demand. In the world of rare coins, demand isn't just about metal. It's about story, mystery, and prestige. Collectors want what others can't have. They want the conversation piece, the headline maker, the legacy item. Now imagine owning one. Imagine what that would do for your life. But here's the thing. This dime isn't the only one worth a fortune. There are others. Pennies, nickels, quarters, hiding in plain sight. Coming up next, we'll reveal how to spot these rare errors and the simple steps to get your coins appraised without getting ripped off. Step 1. Check your change. Grab your jars, drawers, and glove boxes. Focus on 2014 Roosevelt dimes and look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual texture. Step 2. Research. Use reliable coin sites like PCGS and NGC. Search eBay's sold listings, not just current ones, for real market value. Step 3. Professional grading. Never sell a coin without getting it graded. A few dollars can increase your payout by thousands. Trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC are your best bet. Step 4. Know your market. eBay is great, but high-value coins often sell better through specialized auctions or rare coin dealers. And lastly, beware of scammers. If someone offers you a quick buck for a coin they know is worth 6 figures, you're not winning, you're being played. Right now, there are people cashing in 6- and 7-figure paydays, simply because they checked their change. Meanwhile, others are spending these same coins on coffee and parking meters, completely unaware. The next $1 million find could be sitting in your pocket right now. Subscribe if you want to learn how to build real wealth from forgotten coins. And in our next video, we'll reveal the top 5 pennies worth over $1 million that you might already own. Turn those pennies into a pathway to the lifestyle you deserved. Don't wait. Check your change. Your fortune could be just one coin away. Let me know if you want a voiceover version or background music suggestions. We're diving deep into the story of the 2023 Roosevelt dime that's been turning heads, commanding a market value close to $1 million. And if you've ever kept a jar of old coins sitting somewhere in your home, you might be holding a small fortune without even knowing it. Now, before you go digging through the couch cushions, let's break down why this particular coin is so valuable and how you can turn forgotten coins into wealth. First, a little backstory. Franklin D. Roosevelt has graced the face of the dime since 1946, but something very unusual happened in 2023. A limited number of dimes produced at the Philadelphia Mint, those marked with a P, showed subtle minting anomalies, ultra-high strike quality, or incredibly rare die errors. These small imperfections, they're what drive collectors wild. The highest verified sale of a pristine 2023 Roosevelt dime, a staggering $867,000 at a private auction. Yes, someone paid nearly $1 million for a dime. Here's the twist. These dimes are still circulating. They haven't been locked away in museums or safes. That means they could be anywhere. In your car cup holder, a vending machine, or in a dusty drawer at your grandmother's house. Crazy to think a 10-cent coin could be your ticket to financial freedom. Now, why are collectors going all in on this particular dime? It's not just rarity, it's timing. Scarcity meets hype meets quality. Combine that with a booming coin collector market and suddenly the tiniest details become pure gold. And here's a little humor to reset your brain. If you've ever cursed finding coins instead of bills in the laundry, you might want to apologize to your washing machine. It might be your new business partner. You take action. Search. Go through your change jars, purses, drawers, wherever coins may hide. Look for 2023 Roosevelt dimes with a P mark. Use a magnifying glass. Look for anything unusual, especially perfect details or tiny errors. Step 2. Verify. Use coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. Getting a high-grade certification could mean the difference between a few bucks and a six-figure payday. Step 3. Sell smart. Don't rush to eBay or pawn shops. Learn how to approach auction houses, private collectors, and certified brokers. The right buyer will understand the value and pay for it. And here's your cliffhanger. What if I told you the 2023 Roosevelt dime isn't the only coin fetching crazy prices right now? In fact, there are 5 other pennies and nickels in circulation right now that could be worth over $1 million each. One of them is likely in your house right now. But we'll save that for our next video. If you're serious about turning coins into cash, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and most importantly, start searching. Your wealthy lifestyle might just begin with a 10-cent miracle. Remember, the road to wealth isn't always paved in gold. Sometimes it's minted in silver. Stay sharp, stay curious, and check your change.